Breaking this morning, heartbreak in the nation's capital. Right now, an urgent search and rescue operation is underway in the frigid Potomac River after a deadly mid-air collision at Reagan National Airport. Here is what we know right now. According to the FAA, just before 9 last night, a regional American Airlines jet inbound from Wichita, Kansas, collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter. You can see what appears to be that collision in this video we're showing you right now. Law enforcement says the force of the impact broke the plane into pieces, sending both the jet and helicopter into the icy river.
Officials say 60 passengers and 4 crew members were on the plane and 3 U.S. soldiers were on the helicopter. The organization that oversees U.S. figure skating confirms athletes, coaches, and family members who had just attended a training camp were among the passengers. You might recall the figure skating championships took place this past weekend in Wichita. NBC Washington reports more than 30 bodies have now been recovered during search and rescue operations, citing 2 sources familiar with the search efforts. Officials say those efforts are complicated by the ice in the Potomac and the darkness.
It's a highly complex operation. The conditions out there are extremely rough for the responders. It's cold. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. Wind is hard out on the river.
Newly sworn in Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on X that the Pentagon and the Army are investigating the crash. And in a post on Truth Social, President Trump called the tragedy a terrible night, saying the situation, quote, should have been prevented. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We, of course, have live team coverage this morning of this breaking tragedy. We're going to begin with NBC News correspondent Ryan Nobles, who is at Reagan National Airport.
Ryan, good morning. So I know we are expecting an official update a little bit later this hour, giving us more on the search and rescue effort. Just walk us through where everything stands right now, including those recovery and rescue efforts as well as the investigation.
Joe and Savannah, good morning. And as the sun begins to rise over the Potomac River here behind me, and we're starting to get a sense of the scale of this tragedy, it's becoming more and more apparent that this is a worst-case scenario, that this American Eagle commuter airline, a direct flight from Wichita, Kansas, attempting to land here at Reagan National Airport, collided with a Black Hawk helicopter, an Army helicopter. And at this point, there is no sign that there are any survivors. There were 64 people on board that plane, and there were a number of Army soldiers that were on board that Black Hawk helicopter. There have been a massive effort, search and rescue effort in the icy Potomac River all night long. Some 300 first responders have been on the river, along the shore, doing everything they can to try and recover the bodies, search for anyone that may have survived this crash. This is a very difficult and arduous process. The waters are icy cold. It has been a freezing winter here in Washington, D.C., and it's also been terribly windy here over the past 24 hours, which is complicating that search and rescue progress. So far, our local affiliate here in Washington has reported that at least 30 bodies have been recovered during this search and rescue operation. But as the time ticks away, the possibility of finding any survivors to this awful crash continues to dwindle. But law enforcement authorities say that they're going to continue the work until every single person has been recovered. Joe and Savannah.
And Ryan, we mentioned a moment ago having some information like the figure skaters. What do we know about those who were on board at this point?
So at this point, the airline officials have yet to release the names or provide any specific information about the people that were on board that aircraft. You're right. The most specific information that we have got is that the U.S. National Figure Skating Association has said that there were members of their community that were on board that plane coming back from that figure skating championship in Kansas over the weekend. But this is something that the lawmakers from Kansas, the 2 senators, have said likely is going to impact the Wichita community in a major way. This is a flight that recently just began here in Washington, D.C. It's only been in operation for about a year, but it is a direct path for people from Kansas to come to the nation's capital. So it is likely that there are many people from the Wichita community that are going to be impacted by this. But we likely won't know the real impact of it until later today when we get a full assessment of just how devastating this tragedy has become.
And Ryan, the American Airlines CEO, I know, is expected in D.C. this morning. He put out a video. Tell us what he's saying.
So at this point, their focus right now is on the people that were on board that plane and supporting the search and rescue effort to try and recover anyone that may have survived, but then at the very least, make sure that every single one of those bodies are recovered. But he has promised a full investigation into what went wrong here. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Our efforts are focused on the needs of the families and the loved ones of our passengers and crew members. And we're so grateful for all of the actions of the first responders. We're actively working with authorities on response efforts and as well cooperating fully and engaged with the NTSB on its investigation. We're deploying all of our resources right now in response to this accident. American's care team has been activated and they're on their way to assist passengers and their families.
Now, it's important to keep in mind the dynamics of this airspace in Washington, D.C., which people that don't live here may not be familiar with. It is a very active airspace for helicopters in particular. There are military helicopters, law enforcement helicopters that are regularly moving up and down the Potomac River and in and around the Washington, D.C. area, ferrying military officials, government officials from different government office buildings in this community. So it's not uncommon to see these Black Hawk helicopters in the sky. And it is a regular custom for those helicopter pilots and for these airline pilots to be able to communicate and be aware of the air traffic between those two different types of aircraft and the same airspace that they are inhabiting. Now, the other thing that is certainly going to be under review here is the volume of traffic that comes in and out of Reagan National Airport. It is not a big airport, but it is very conveniently located just over the river into Washington, D.C. So it is a favorite for people that are coming in and out of Washington on a regular basis, making it one of the most highly trafficked runways in the United States, perhaps in the world. And that has been a point of contention for lawmakers and officials here in this community as to whether or not an airport this size can handle that volume of traffic. The air traffic controllers here are some of the best in the world, but it appears that in this particular situation, it was just a combination of a lot of bad things happening all at once that led to this awful tragedy and what appears to be an incredible loss of life.
Complex is one way to describe the airspace above D.C. We're going to talk with some experts about that in just a moment. Ryan, thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you being out there for us. Let's now bring in NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche, good morning. Let's talk a little bit about what we've heard from the president. Two different statements here, an official one from the White House and also one on Truth Social, his social media platform. What's he saying?
That's right. Well, within minutes of this tragedy, we started hearing from White House officials, and in short order, the White House put out an official statement. I want to read part of it to you. It says, "I have been fully briefed on the terrible accident which took place at Reagan National Airport. May God bless their souls. Thank you for the incredible work being done by our first responders. I am monitoring the situation and will provide more details as they arise." Now, that was President Trump from the official White House statement. But then the president also started really looking for blame publicly, and he posted on Truth Social this statement. "The plane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It is a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that it looks like it should have been preventable and prevented. Not good." So that is President Trump already in some ways trying to search for how this happened, and also maybe already starting to place blame on where he thinks the tragedy could have been prevented here.
So, Yamiche, the Secretary of Transportation is Sean Duffy. He was sworn in just 2 days ago on Tuesday, so he's just 1 day into the job, and this happens. He was at that overnight news conference. Tell us what he's saying and just explain what the DOT's role is in this investigation.
Yeah, well, as you said, Sean Duffy just started his tenure as the new transportation secretary, and he's going to be trying to really give support as well as understand how this tragedy could have happened and also how it could be prevented. Because as Ryan said, this is a very, very busy airspace. I know so many of us that live in Washington, D.C. looked up and said, that could have been me, that could have been my friend. So my heart is breaking, and I know so many people in the federal government that I was talking to overnight, their hearts are breaking. But take a listen to what Sean Duffy said about the role that he hopes his agency will be playing.
We are going to offer full support to those on the ground, to the mayor, but also to the NTSB, who is going to be conducting the investigation in this matter. We are going to provide all the support that's necessary. There'll be a review of what happened here tonight, and after the FAA studies what happened, we will take appropriate action if necessary to modify flight paths and permissions.
So as you heard there, Sean Duffy saying that the Department of Transportation is going to do everything that they can to help people and help the federal government as it relates to this investigation and whatever changes need to be made in the interim at Reagan National Airport. Joe, Savannah.
Yamiche, the first 100 days are busy for any president, of course, and we know the president has certainly been busy on his agenda, whether it's cost cutting or reshaping government. But do we now expect this to become the president's focus over the next few days?
Well, this is certainly going to become a priority for President Trump. It's true that he has a lot of things he wants to get done on his agenda, but this is really going to be the first big tragedy of his new administration. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since he took that oath of office, becoming the 47th president, and now he has on his hands something that is going to be taking the resources of the federal government to really try to understand why this happened, how to prevent it, and also he's going to have to in some way step in the role of consoler-in-chief, because already, as our local NBC affiliate said, 30 bodies have been pulled from this water. Their number might go up. So he's going to have to also be offering support to the families, Americans who are waking up this morning without their loved ones. So this is going to definitely be something that's going to be a top priority for President Trump as he continues to navigate his agenda and the first few weeks of his presidency. Joe, Savannah.
And Yamiche, I know it is supposed to be a busy day in Washington with a lot of confirmation hearings right there in the same city where this happened. As far as we know, are those things moving forward?
As far as we know right now, everything is moving forward when it comes to confirmation hearings, but that could all be changed given the fact that you also have lawmakers who are going to be looking to see which constituents of theirs need support, because it's, of course, going to be the people who may have passed away on this flight, but also family members who may be trying to navigate how to deal with this tragedy, trying to figure out how to find their loved ones. So there's going to be a lot on the lawmakers' plates, both the senators and the House members. So we could maybe look out to see if they end up adjusting their schedules in these confirmation hearings. The other thing is, though, that this cabinet, the president's going to need all of the people, all of his staffers and all of his cabinet members to be in there. As we said, Sean Duffy just got in that job. So they could be ending up prioritizing these confirmation hearings to get this done so that the federal government has the personnel in place to continue to respond to this tragedy. Joe, Savannah.
Yamiche, thank you so much for joining us.
Let's bring in aviation expert John Cox for more on what could have caused this crash. John, good morning. Let's make it very clear. We don't know, and it is going to take a long time to investigate, but we've seen this footage, which appears to show the moment of the crash. Given this complex airspace and the aircraft involved, just what are your first impressions of this?
The first thing that I saw and thought about is this is going to take time. It is a complex situation, and we need to have patience to let the investigators do their job. It is very routine for a jet to land on this runway. I've landed there countless times. It is also routine to have military helicopters pass below you while you're approaching this runway. That is also routine. The air traffic controllers at Reagan National are some of the best in the world. So all of these are questions that the investigators are going to look at in depth. The cockpit voice recorder from the jet is going to be a key piece of evidence. And also the air traffic controllers, the interviews with those controllers, what they saw and what the helicopter replied to their instructions. All of these are fundamental questions.
So taking that in mind, and of course bearing in mind, we are no experts here at this desk when it comes to aviation, but just as people at home may be wondering, having been on a plane before themselves, having seen a Black Hawk helicopter, as a plane starting to land, it's relatively low speed, lower than it would have been mid-flight. So with the passenger jet at lower speed, these two seeming to be at this similar altitude, they're both on, assuming there's lights on them, and knowing that a Black Hawk helicopter has that wide visibility that's kind of a hallmark of it. Could there have been blind spots? Like, does it seem to you unusual that one wouldn't have seen the other? Is that even a possibility?
I think that the visibility from the Black Hawk is something that the investigators will certainly look at in great depth. The jet, based on information we've seen from things like Flight Radar 24, was at its normal approach speed, at its normal altitude, and on its normal ground track. In other words, it was where it should have been. The air traffic controllers, according to the tapes that we've heard so far, issue instructions for the Black Hawk to see the jet and to pass behind it. And there's ambiguity or there's question about exactly what the Black Hawk's response was. The investigators are going to certainly look at that. So the fact that we don't yet know whether the Black Hawk saw the jet, if they did, what actions they were taking. And so they have more questions right now than answers.
John, you say you've landed at DCA countless times. We've talked about the complexity of it there. Talk a little more just about what Reagan National is like. Tom Costello was saying earlier this morning that pilots actually like flying into it because it is a little bit harder than most other airports.
I always enjoyed flying in and out of Reagan. The procedures are special, but the controllers are very good. The pilots that go in and out of there, we all know the routine. And so you're dealing with highly skilled professional pilots, highly skilled air traffic controllers, moving a lot of airplanes in and out of a very geographically constrained airport, and it works extremely well. And so I always enjoyed it. I thought that it was, it put your skill levels to test, but that's what professional pilots do.
You also mentioned that it was, I think the word you used was routine, even to have a military helicopter flying under you. When you're in that situation, what's that experience like? You see it or you're hearing about it from air traffic control, and how is that coordination handled?
Normally, if they say, you may get a traffic advisory that will say 11 o'clock, 2 miles is a helicopter at or below 200 feet on the east side of the Potomac, or on the east side of the river, they call it. And you may look up and see that the ones that are painted with the white tops are a little bit easier sometimes to see, but you know that they're going to track the east side of the river and that your flight path is going to have you turn inside of that. So there's going to be some horizontal separation, but there also is some vertical separation. They're at or below 200 feet, and typically the jet, as it turns final, is 300 to 400 feet up. So you're passing above them. You're busy at that point as you approach the runway, positioning it to make sure that you're on the proper glide path and speed. So there's a lot going on, but this separation routine has worked so well for so many years. It is considered, in fact, routine.
Let's talk about the investigation. We know these investigations with the NTSB typically take several months, if not more than a year. What's the information that's going to be available to investigators to help them try and figure out what went wrong? Obviously, a lot of the communications are going to be pretty quick, something they can quickly get their hands on, right?
The radar data from the facility, it's called Potomac Approach, but the air traffic control radar, the air traffic control voice tapes, interviews with the air traffic controllers, the cockpit voice recorder from the jet. I expect that it will be found sometime today or maybe tomorrow. It will be sent to the NTSB laboratory and downloaded, so we'll know what the pilots were saying. And then if they're eyewitnesses, they too will be interviewed. So it's a very methodical process that the investigators at NTSB will follow. And the idea there is to gather information in the early hours and days. And then once you have that information, is to slowly go through it and find the relevant pieces and then begin to put the sequence of events in order. And that way, that's when you begin to determine the causes here and what both what contributed and what was causal to this tragedy.
I understand there's a piece of equipment, it's called Traffic Collision Avoidance System. Can you explain how something like that or any other piece of equipment, type of process that goes on in a cockpit or maybe in that air traffic control tower that is in place to prevent a tragedy exactly like this one, and how they can't prevent them 100% of the time, apparently?
The Traffic Collision and Avoidance System, which is known as the acronym TCAS, is an extremely effective tool. There's a couple of things here. One, TCAS is inhibited at low altitude, so and it's around 500 feet, give or take. Whether the Black Hawk also had TCAS on board is an unanswered question. There are military aircraft that don't have TCAS on board. So that's one of the things that they're going to look at. The air traffic controllers have a conflict alert alarm that will show up on the radar screens. And there are indications that that conflict alert may have gone off. In situations where you have aircraft passing as close to each other as does occur at Reagan National, that conflict alert would not be that uncommon, but the flight path of the helicopter should have been on the east side of the river, and that should have provided some lateral separation as well as vertical. So these are things. There are devices in airliners, in corporate jets, this TCAS system, proven to be extremely effective, but it does have limits when it gets at low altitude, that it is inhibited.
John, we hear so much in recent years about the air traffic controller shortage, and we have no idea if that had anything to do with what was going on here. But talk about how big of an issue that has become in the aviation industry.
The shortage of air traffic controllers is definitely an issue for the aviation system. As to the workload and the time on duty and things like that of these particular controllers, we don't know that yet. NTSB will ask those questions. So we can't say yet that there is a direct contribution to this tragedy by the fact that we have a shortage of air traffic controllers. We can say that the aviation system needs more highly qualified controllers, and that FAA is increasing the training, but we need to increase it even more. We need to get full performance level controllers to fully staff all the facilities within our country.
John, I'm wondering, based on the way a moment ago you described kind of the east of the river, we're going to pull up kind of a map here, a graphic. If you could talk through what you mean with this on screen. You've mentioned the helicopter should be flying to the east of the river, so the right side of the screen for people at home. We can see the approximate crash site. Can you, using this map, explain what would be routine and what it seems happened here?
Where you see the term Potomac River, the helicopter should be to the right of that and flying along the coastline, the river's bank, where you see it says DC. It should be pretty well tracking right along that line. The jet will come over that and then turn to a line with runway 33, which is, you can see there. And the apparent a general area of the impact was about half a mile, 6/10 of a mile off the end of the runway. So the jet would be letting down through an altitude of around 200 to 300 feet, probably closer to 200. The helicopter should have passed behind them. As to why that didn't occur, that's going to be a central question for the NTSB investigators.
And John, is this the type of investigation you expect is going to last several months, or could some of the pieces come together rather quickly?
I think we'll see a preliminary report come out relatively quickly, but the final report, I would say, would be 18 months out.
John, for people who might be surprised to learn, the way that you put it, routine for, it sounds like a jet and a military aircraft to be within a margin of even 100 feet of each other, it sounds like it is what you said could be routine upon landing. And then a tragedy like this happens. Do you think changes will be made to the airspace, how military and commercial aircraft share the space, when they share the space, what happens when a plane's landing?
I think they'll certainly look at that, but we don't know the track of the helicopter. And until we do, and we know what the helicopter saw and what they acknowledged seeing, and that they were to follow to, quote, pass behind the jet, that's going to be central. And so until we know what happened and the track of the helicopter, to even consider whether there's going to be airspace adjustments is probably premature. This system has worked so effectively, so well for so many years that changing it, I'm not sure that until we know more, I'm not sure that it's warranted.
With so much of the wreckage in the water, and as daylight comes up, we'll get a better idea of what that actually looks like. How much of a challenge does that create for the investigation? The fire department said earlier the water is about 8 feet deep, so not as deep as, say, if it were in an ocean. But does that create some challenges when it comes to the investigation, or do you expect they'll be able to get all of the pieces they need to get in order to do this thorough investigation?
I have great confidence that they will be able to recover the wreckage and to find the recorders, the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder. It is going to be very challenging. That water is very, very cold. These divers are highly experienced professionals, and so they will meticulously get the wreckage, and NTSB will be right there with them to evaluate it and to photo document to the very best of their ability the post-impact condition of the wreckage. All of these become bits of evidence that the NTSB investigators will use to assemble the sequence of events.
John, just as Joe pointed out a moment ago, when it comes to things we've heard a lot about, like an air traffic controller shortage, again, not that we know that anything like that is related here, but that issue, there's been some issues of planes on runways clipping wings, something like this. I've seen some sentiment online kind of like, why have there been so many of these issues? Why are we seeing so many aviation issues? And people kind of being like scared just to take a routine flight. As somebody who's spent so much time in a plane, in command of a plane, and as an aviation expert, what would you say to people who this morning are thinking, what's going on with commercial air flight in the U.S.?
A couple of things to remember. One, aviation has become so safe. It is the safest form of transportation ever designed by humankind. And that remains true today, even in the light of this tragedy. It is also, because it has gotten so safe, anytime there is any form of an abnormality or an unusual occurrence, it makes the news. So the number of events that we have seen with airplanes getting close to each other has been highly reported, and the number in some cases has come up a little bit. There are certainly people that are taking steps to try to remedy that, and no one in aviation safety considers it to be acceptable. There's areas of improvement here, but I fly pretty much every week, and the safest place I can be is on an airliner going to a destination, the most hazardous part of that journey is the drive to and from the airport. So I would caution people, even in light of this tragedy, we will find out what happened. There will be adjustments made, but the aviation safety system remains intact, and it remains the safest form of transportation that people can use.
Certainly feels like when I was younger, we saw many more major tragedies like this than we see today. So in many ways, it is still as safe as we've ever seen it. John Cox, thank you so much. We'll probably be checking in with you throughout the morning. We really appreciate your expertise.
Yeah, thanks for spending so much
My
time
pleasure.
with us. We are now joined here on set by Anthony Roman, who's a former commercial pilot. We are, by the way, waiting any moment for a special report to hear some more from the ground from investigators, a press conference, which we'll bring you. So forgive us, Anthony, if we interrupt you while we head to that momentarily. You have been in the captain's seat before, and I even actually understand, and this is quite a unique perspective on a morning like this, not only have you landed at DCA, you just shared with us that you've had a scary situation at this particular airport, but tell us about some of your experience.
Yeah, I had a near miss on final approach during some bad weather. We broke out of the overcast at minimum altitude, a couple of 100 feet above the ground, and a military helicopter flying parallel to the river flew directly underneath us. Happens in a split second, very little time to have a reaction to it. It's unfortunate in this case that the approaching aircraft had to approach runway 1 through the instrument system, and then at the last moment change directions, make a dog leg to runway 33, and then a left-hand turn to line up with runway 33 to land. So the crew's focus is on landing that aircraft, especially at low altitude maneuvering in those directions. Not unsafe, but it does require a great deal of attention. And the collision avoidance system, the TCAS, will only, at times, under 1,000 feet, alert you not to the direction of a conflicting aircraft, not its altitude, but only that it's in the area. And you have to then take your attention from the runway, look at the screen, and it'll show you a little diamond of the position of that aircraft. But it will not alert you to all aircraft under 1,000 feet.
Did that change your mindset in future flights when you were landing at DCA? Is this something pilots have talked about? Because we've heard some people say pilots actually like flying into DCA because it is a little more challenging and they get to put their skills to the test. But how did pilots discuss this, and how did it impact you when you were flying in and out of there?
Well, you know, it leaves an impression for the rest of your life when you miss another aircraft by that type of distance. It's a split second, particularly when you're flying blind into the airport through the overcast, and you pop out and you're stunned to see this happen. I reported it to the air traffic controllers, and very little was done at that time. But this was a couple of decades ago, and so things are very much different now and much safer.
Do you think it's more crowded there now, or has it always been like this?
I think it's always been crowded, but it is particularly crowded right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.